Hello friends, now I am going to start to discuss with you about some important positions in our constitution. Means for whichever the position I will discuss is considered to be constitutional position and they have powers to take the decision about the nation or the state, right? First, I am discussing about the President of India. See, President of India is considered to be constitutional head of India. Just you think that any law is being implemented in country when it is possible after signing by President of India, any law is possible to implement. So, executive powers are remain with government as given by President of India, but the constitutional powers are remain in hands of directly President of India. So, President is the constitutional head of nation and Prime Minister is the administrative head of nation, executive head of nation. So, both have their separate power with their importance also. Okay. Now, remember one thing. The whole country's administration is run by the name of President of India. He is considered to be first citizen of Republic of India. So remember, I use the word Republic of India means India is a republic nation. People decide their leaders and by the election president also comes to his powers or position. Have you seen your passport also? If you have a passport, just you see on the first title the word is given on the passport Republic of India. So India's name in the legal aspect is spoken as Republic of India. Keep in your mind. And we are living in Republic of India. Now remember how the president comes to his post. Means his qualification, his election, everything I will discuss now. First I am discussing with you about qualification of president to be candidate in election of President of India. The first point is any candidate who want to contest the election of President of India should be citizen of India. Whenever we think or talk about any person, this is a clear-cut stand that he must be a citizen of India. Second, he should be by age minimum 35 years or above. He should be citizen of India and of age 35 years or above. Third, he should not be salarized person. He should not be salarized person in government, means the employee from government anywhere. In Indian government, as a central government employee or the state government employee, no. He should not be a government employee or when he is going to contest the election, he should not be in position which is called office of profit. Means he is not getting any kind of the remuneration in anyhow from government that is most necessary. Next, he should not be member of any house including Lok Sabha, including Rajya Sabha, including Vidhan Sabha, including Vidhan Parishad. He should not be when he is going to contest the election. Means somebody says after election if he will win, he will leave the post. No, it is not possible. First you resign from all other office of profits, then you come to contest. It means the president should be completely free of all profitable positions. Okay, now the question comes, who will elect him? See, president's position is constitutional head of nation, first citizen of nation, head of nation absolutely in manner. So he must be accepted by all. All means members sitting in all legislative assemblies, legislative councils from all the states, and also from both the houses of parliament, members sitting will cast their vote in election of President of India. So here you understand, President's election is an indirect election for us. We directly are not going to cast the vote. In India, we elect our representatives in Vidhan Sabha, in municipalities, in municipal corporation, in panchayats, in Lok Sabha, but some positions are there in which we are not casting our vote, as like that this is the one of them. This position is one of those positions in which we are not casting a vote directly. So it is called indirect election. Here our elected members are casting their vote, and their vote is deciding president's candidate to be seated in the position. Okay. Now remember, the president is coming on his position for term of 5 years. The term of president's position is of 5 years. And see, what is the tradition? I am not saying. But as per the law, any person can contest election many of the time, in whichever the time he wants to contest election. minimum age limit is there, but maximum age limit is not possible for such dignified positions. One thing more, it is also clearly stated that a president must be out of doubt, so any criminal cannot contest such election, right? Any of the election, any declared criminal cannot contest. So same way here applied also. In case any case may arise against President of India in his term of position of president, up to that period the criminal case cannot be filed. So in that case he must need to resign first from his post, then he will be arrested and the criminal case will be filed. So when a person is in position of President of India, neither any case could be filed, neither any arrest of himself is possible, or neither any inquiry could be possible to issue against him. It means this is the dignity of the place, not of the person. Here what is important? The position is important. So in case if any person in the position have committed any crime, if it is found, so first he will be forced by all remaining members in parliament to resign from the post, or by passing the resolution to remove him. It is called the process of impeachment, will be filed by parliament. In both houses the procedure will be taken, and thereafter, after removal of himself from the position of president, any case could be possible to lodge, or any complaint could be filed against him, not in his term of position. Right, my friends? So here I discussed about term of president, qualifications of president, his impeachment, his election, all these related topics I discussed. Now I am going to discuss the functioning and powers of President of India. See, he has so many powers: parliamentary powers, military based powers, right? Judicial powers. He has most of the effective powers in his hands, but all powers he can use with advice and suggestions of Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. First, I am discussing his power about appointing different dignitaries on their position. He has power to appoint Prime Minister with his Council of Ministers. In that case, whoever will be person who has majority support in election will come to the position of Prime Minister, and he will be appointed by President of India. So first of the appointment is Prime Minister's appointment is done by President. Second appointment is his other Council of Ministers. Here the consultation will be done with the Prime Minister about appointing other ministers of his cabinet. He will administrate the oath and distribute the portfolios to Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. Remember one thing more. Usually, cabinet enjoys support of majority members sitting in the Lok Sabha. So, in that situation, when majority members are with Prime Minister in Lok Sabha, he cannot dissolve the cabinet. Means he has powers to appoint, but who will be is decided by majority members sitting in the Lok Sabha. One thing more. President has another power to appoint judges in Supreme Court and High Court, as well as different governors of different states. Also, Attorney General of India. Attorney General means the advocate who will present the government of India's cases in courts wherever is important or required. Another person who is being appointed by President is Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Comptroller and Auditor General of India. This person is looking to the all accounts of government of India and all departments. So in that way, he is the supervising the accounting activities of government. He will be appointed by President. Thereafter, as the head of the all defense forces, he will appoint different heads of respective forces like Army, Navy and Air Force. Thereafter, he will appoint, he will means President will appoint Chairman of Union Public Service Commission. This Union Public Service Commission is looking to see that all public examination are being taken in fair and transparent manner. So the right candidate must come to the administrative services. For such services, this commission's importance is very much. So their president is being appointed by their chairman is being appointed by President of India. Thereafter, different ambassadors, I repeat, different ambassadors, ambassador means our representatives looking India's position in different countries, they are being appointed by President of India and they will sit in our embassies in different nations. Here you have understood that these are appointing powers or the executive powers or administrative powers of President. Okay. Military powers I am discussing now. He is considered to be head of all defense forces. So in that way, he has powers to declare war, cease the war and conclude the treaties with other countries. Here I want to indicate conclude the treaty means agreeing to sign the treaty. after his permission any treaty is being signed by our government, right? So his permission is always important. Okay, one thing more. He has power in judicial manner that he can grant pardon or reduce sentence of any convicted person or can postpone implementation of any sentence or can change nature of punishment in any declared sentence. So it means it is his judicial powers. Here I talked with you that he can change the nature or types of punishment also. He can postpone the, in which kind of the cases he will interfere. First you think, in cases like capital punishment, means hanging to a criminal, or a punishment of more than 14 years imprisonment, if there is imprisonment up to death. Such kind of the cases he will interfere, otherwise he never interfere in Supreme Court's decision. So most he, okay, one thing more you remember, any criminal who is given capital punishment has right to convey his mercy application, which is called mercy petition, in legal word mercy plea, to president. So here the president's power either to give him mercy or not. Okay, one thing more. In parliament, he has power to summon the session of both houses of parliament. Also, if he feel, he can dissolve the Lok Sabha also. It means he has power to dissolve the Lok Sabha, but it is necessary that the advice must come to him with note of Prime Minister himself. In that case, he could dissolve the Lok Sabha, otherwise he will not. Okay. One thing more. If President find the situation of any territorial threat, as like war, as like external aggression of other country, as like armed rebellion of our forces against our elected respective branches, in all this situation he has power to take the decision relating to emergency, means power to declare the emergency in whole India or in respective specific parts of nation. He can declare state of emergency if he feels so. Generally, this kind of the decision of president cannot be challenged in court. Okay, in state executive, I want to discuss one more power, that the president has power to dissolve any state legislative assembly on a report sent by governor to the government of India, and in that situation, if the state administration is unable to run properly, it is called constitutional breakdown. So the state cannot run properly, then it creates the chaos or anarchy. This thing is required to stop. So in that situation, the president will declare the emergency in the constitutional aspect. So it is called constitutional emergency, and in that situation the president rule will be imposed in specific state, and the state cabinet will be dissolved. In case any state is passing through financial crisis, president has power to reduce the salaries of all government employees including judges. So it means whoever is considered to be government employee will get less salary in days of financial emergency. Even though after discussing all these things, we must consider that our president has these powers are in vast manner, but in reality all these powers are based on advices given to him by government of India or the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. He can enjoy his powers properly. Right, my friends? Okay.